You are listening to part 2 of the Willie Nelson interview that Willie Nelson was nice enough to sit down for on the Time for Hemp television series in May of 1991. Time for Hemp made its debut January 5th in 1991 and was the very first television series in the history of broadcast to focus on how wonderful marijuana is. Over the next several months after its debut, the series began airing in a variety of cities across the country, and within a few short weeks was airing in 103 cities. Willie Nelson was on tour that year and noticed that the series was playing in many of the towns that he and the band were singing at. And when Willie got into Kentucky and decided to roll up his sleeves and help Gateway Galbraith get elected to the governor's seat, which unfortunately that did not happen, Gateway Galbraith was nice enough to introduce me and Willie Nelson by phone, and when he did, Willie made a commitment to be a guest on the series. And when he came into Los Angeles, Willie gave me a call and kept his word. And you are listening to the second part of 2 parts of that. And because of the remarkable information that comes from this interview, I would ask that you share it with your friends, and then also let your friends know about time4hemp.com. That's time4hemp.com. There you can find over 400 hours of great interviews and music free to download. Oh yeah, and we've also got a radio show that airs on AmericanFreedomRadio.com every Monday through Friday from 11 p.m. to midnight Central Standard Time. Well, pack a bowl and tell your friends all about this interview, and we're going to take some more Time for Hemp.
Willie, now, that kind of like points to some of the things that we were talking about on the income that can be generated for the farms and saving the farms and so on. And we were talking about the difficulty of trying to reintroduce it to the economy. Where do you see hemp actually taking the farmers? If they were to start being allowed to grow it, do you think hemp in and of itself could be the crop that would save the farms for America?
In the state of Kentucky, when the leading agricultural crop there in 1937 was hemp, when they took that away from the farmers, it would be like taking wheat away from Kansas, cotton away from Texas, cattle, away from. It's just devastating what has happened to the farmers in that area since their leading agricultural crop, which, as we've all seen, is a very beneficial, and not only beneficial, necessary plant that the earth needs. If it wasn't supposed to be there, the big guy wouldn't put it there. You know, he didn't make no mistakes. So he put him here for a reason. One of the reasons, I believe, is that the root is like 10 to 12 inches long, which literally holds the planet together. Now, what happens when you eradicate a plant from the planet? If you check history, every civilization that has gone under since the beginning of time has gone under because of soil erosion and the inability of the people to be able to feed themselves. Now, is that a serious problem today? Look at Bangladesh. Look at the places on the planet where hemp has been made illegal to grow. In the state of Iowa, that state in the last 100 years has lost over 50% of its topsoil.
Wow.
So we're talking about farming areas that are going down the drain because of some some very well-planned conspiracy to take the hemp plant off the planet to keep it from being competition to the other products that it would be competition to, your petrochemicals, your paper, all the textiles. Now, business is business, as they say, and anything is fair in love and war. But when you start taking something that valuable away from the planet, you're affecting other things other than just business associates. You're affecting our children who eat, and you're affecting yourself and me. We're taking food away from, healthy food away from our families, and we're taking the healthy soil away from our planet.
What do you think it would take to get the farmers to rally around this plant and to unite across the United States and say, give us the right to grow this plant so that we can start utilizing it for industrial purposes?
Well, the biggest problem is knowledge, education. I think this is the first thing that has to be done. The American farmer has to be made aware that 50 years ago this was a legal crop, and why was it taken away? I think he has to start asking himself, why is this hidden from me? Let his curiosity start growing. Why did my grandfather plant hemp, and why can I not plant hemp? Now, I've heard all about the big scare of the marijuana thing, but most people who have lived any length of time at all and have been around anything at all on this planet knows that if we have any serious problems in the world, which we do, marijuana is not one of them.
No, not really.
Not one of them. When you start listening our serious problems, it's way down on the list somewhere. And it might be even one of our greatest assets that has been disguised to make appear to be a bad guy. So I think what the farmer should do, and not only the farmer, every taxpayer out there, everybody who's affected, everybody who eats food, should start wondering, why are we so kept in the dark over this one plant, the hemp plant?
Yeah. Do you get any slack or difficulty being a performer who advocates the legalization of hemp? Do you?
I get into a lot of things that I get flack for.
Yeah, I know.
So it's hard to say where my flack's coming from.
Okay. If you had the opportunity to express yourself at any one point in time to the American people and deliver the message of the farmer, what would you say?
Well, first of all, the fact that you're able to do this show and I'm here talking on it, and it means that this idea has come. It's time for people to consider it and make a decision one way or another. And it's a question you have to ask yourself. Is it important? Is the planet worth saving? Can hemp really save the planet? If it can, why is it kept such a secret from us? Ask yourself these questions. Call around, do some research, and make your own conclusions.
I tell you, we are facing a world that needs medicines. We are facing a world that needs food. And we are facing a world that's rather stubborn when it comes to dealing with the topic of drugs. They seem to overlook the fact that marijuana is a plant that can be grown for, as we've said, paper, fiber, and fuel. We have people overseas who are growing it for just that. Is there anything that we can learn from our brothers and sisters overseas, do you think, that would help reintroduce us into our economy?
Well, you must remember that our brothers and sisters overseas are controlled by the same people who control us here. Their planting habits. Hemp is illegal on many parts of the planet, and it's been made illegal by the same people who made it illegal here. The oil companies, the petrochemical people, who are the paper industries, the people who own trees on this planet, who would rather see us chop down the trees and make paper rather than use hemp, which could save all the trees. There's a lot of opposition here, so this is a war that we're just on the beginning stages of, and there will be opposition from a lot of people. There'll be a lot of people throwing a lot of accusations at you, at me, so you better be ready for it.
Willie, it has been a joy to have you on our program today. You know, to have the honor of you coming in here and speaking on behalf of the farmers. I mean, you have a voice of authority, you know, because you've seen it and you've been there. And we want to wish you all the luck in what you're doing. Is there any place that anybody can write or get in contact if they want to participate in farm aid, or if they want to find some way of helping the farmers in their states? Is there any organizations that you can think of that might benefit from?
There are many organizations. Farm aid funds many different organizations, agricultural movements in all the states, all the areas, and it's very simple to find out who in your area represents the farmers, the Farmers Alliance or whatever. There's many organizations, and you can look in your phone book or ask your neighbor and find out who. Or you can also call 1-800-FARM-AID.
Excellent. Thank you very much.